chapter 9 of Ramayana's Kishkindha Kanda, Tara's grief. Apadamahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokaviramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Vali had never before been defeated by anyone. He had killed so many asuras. Even as Indra hurls his Vajra, Vali would hurl huge rocks at his opponents, and his prowess was known in all the three worlds. His voice was like the rumbling of a thunder cloud, and his valor was greater than that of Indra. Such a great hero was now lying on the ground, and she looked around. She saw Rama, who stood with the bow in his hand at Lakshmana and at Sugriva, her husband's brother. She looked down at the ground and saw the unconscious form of Vali. Tara fell on the ground and, clasping him in her arms, set up a wail of woe which was heart-rending. Angada was sobbing along with his mother, and Sugriva was sorely grieved at the sight of them. Tara saw the arrow which had lodged in her husband's chest, and again she embraced him. "I am Tara, my lord," she cried. "I am your dear wife, and when I am calling you, why do you not answer me? Come with me and we will go back to the palace. This hard bed is unbecoming to you. Evidently, you are more in love with the earth, or else you would have heard my piteous appeal. There is now another city called Kishkindha, which has been prepared for you in the heavens, and it seems to me you prefer that. My heart is very hard, or else how can it still beat and not break into 1,000 pieces after seeing you on the ground, with your life ebbing away? Why did you not listen to me when I asked you not to fight with Sugriva? If you had only paid heed to my words of warning, you would not have been dead. It was fate which made you a victim to the guiles of your brother. Your son Angada, who has never known what hardship is, will now be a dependent on Sugriva, and I wonder how he will be treated. I am afraid. Child, Angada, take a last look at your valiant father. You will never see him again. Rama has kept his promise to his friend and has dispatched your father to the heavens. Sugriva, the kingdom is yours. Your enemy is killed and you will be reunited with Ruma. All your desires will now be fulfilled. I hope you are happy. Vali, my lord, how is it you are deaf to my pleading and my voice? Have you forgotten me so soon?" She wept bitter tears, and her piteous weeping was painful to watch. Again and again she called out to Vali and asked him not to leave her and her son and go away. Finally, she decided to cast off her life by fasting unto death. Hanuman came to her and tried to comfort her. He said, "A man reaps the fruits of the actions he has performed. Actions, whether good or bad, and death grants him these fruits. No man's actions depend on those of another. This human body is like a bubble on the surface of water. No one need mourn for another, since we are all to be pitied. You are in a pitiable state, and you feel sorry for Vali, who is dead. You are drowned in misfortune, and you feel that Vali is unfortunate. There is no cause for grief in this world where everything is transient. It is not right that you should think of giving up your life. You have a son, and it is your duty to protect him. Think of his future and make up your mind to act in such a way as to ensure his safety and good. You are a wise lady, and you know only too well what the ultimate truth is. Birth and death are inevitable, and life on earth is not permanent. That is the reason why a man should try and perform as many good acts as he can when he is alive. This Vali, who was a great king and on whom depended all his subjects, is now dead. He knew the codes of behavior. He was sweet-spoken, generous, and he was very patient. He had attained the world meant for good people, and so he should not be mourned. You are the queen of this kingdom, and your son, young Angada, looks to you for comfort. All the subjects look to you for assurance. Abandon this grief and this decision to lay down your life. Angada will surely be king. Let him be prepared to perform the duties which a son has to. The Vedas say that it is for this purpose that a son is born to man. Angada should perform the final rites for his father. After he has done his duty, Angada will be crowned as Yuvaraja. Your thoughts must now be only for the welfare of your son. Tara refused to be comforted, and she would not give up the thought of death. Vali had recovered from his faint, and with great difficulty he tried to breathe, and his eyes lighted on Sugriva. He called him affectionately by name and called him to his side. He said, Sugriva, I am sad that I wronged you because of my pride and arrogance. Evidently, fate was against your sharing the affection which brothers normally should. That happiness was denied to us. No one can alter the decrees of fate. You know only too well that I am dying. Accept this kingdom from me. I am giving up my life, my son, the immense wealth which was mine, and the great fame which I had earned. You must now listen to my last wishes. You must fulfill them. Look at this son of mine, Angada, who stands numb with the pain of separation from me. I love him to distraction, and I have taken very good care of him. He is dearer to me than my very life, and bereaved as he is, it is up to you to treat him as your son and take good care of him. I am certain that you will do so. He is valiant in the fight that is to ensue with the Rakshasa Ravana. Angada will be at the forefront. He will display his prowess and make a name for himself. This Tara, the dear daughter of Shushena, is a very wise woman. She knows the subtleties of statecraft. She knows how to react to any unforeseen situation. Take her advice in everything. If she approves of a thing, then it is certain to be correct. You have taken up the responsibility of helping Rama. You must do it properly. Sin will cling to you if you fail in your duty. Also, Rama can be very angry if he wants to. He will punish you. Sugriva, lastly, take this golden garland from me. It is divine and you must wear it. Once I am dead, the effect will go. So take it before my life ebbs out. Jai Shri Ram. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane. Om Shri Ramarpanamastu. Chapter 9, Part 2 of Ramayana's Kishkindha Kanda, Tara's Grief, Part 2. Apad Mahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Listening to the words of Vali, Sugriva's pleasure at having got the kingdom was all gone. With sobs, he took the garland from Vali and placed it round his neck. Vali had no regrets now. He called Angada to his side and said, Child, Angada, remember to be aware of the altered circumstances and the situation which you are now facing. Do not pay much attention to things which please you and things which are apt to displease you. Accept happiness and sorrow as they come and do not be moved by them. You must please Sugriva in every way. Perhaps you may not be petted and loved as much by him as you were by me. Do not mind it. Remember to avoid those who are his enemies. Be neither too attached to anyone, nor should you be completely indifferent. Adopt the middle course and try to find comfort in the guardianship of Sugriva. Vali's end was fast approaching. When he had spoken to his son, he struggled in pain because of the arrow which was lodged inside him, and a moment later he died. Tara was inconsolable. Neela, one of the chiefs, approached the body of Vali and gently pulled out the arrow. Tara made Angada prostrate before the dead form of Vali. Sugriva was shedding tears and he went to the presence of Rama and said, Rama, you have kept your word and Vali is dead. But now I have lost all interest in the worldly things which once seemed unattainable. The death of Vali, my brother, the sorrow of his queen, the helpless look in the eyes of Angada have all made me averse to the thought of becoming the king. I wished for the death of Vali, and it was because of my anger and wickedness. I am full of repentance. I will continue to live on the top of Rishyamukha. I will find peace there. During all the many fights we had, Vali could have killed me, but he would say, I do not have the heart to kill you. Go and stay out of my sight. That meant that he loved me, and I did not realize it. I should never have wished for his death. It was my greed for wealth and the kingdom which made me wish for it. I am a sinner. I am not fit to rule a kingdom. My servants will do my bidding and search for Sita. I will not break my promise to you, but I do not want to live anymore. I will fall into the fire and burn to death. Rama was by nature very compassionate and he was very unhappy to see this grief. Tara was made to rise up from the side of Vali and she looked at Rama. She went to him and said, I have heard about you and your good nature. You should take pity on me and use the same arrow on me with which you killed my husband. I will be united with him and he will be happy. He cannot be without me. You have been separated from your wife and you know how painful it is, and surely you will not want Vali to suffer as you do. He needs me. I assure you, the sin of killing a woman will not cling to you. Please do me this one favor. Rama was sorely distressed by her sorrow. He spoke words of comfort to her. He said, You are the wife of a hero and you should not give way to despair. Fate rules the world and the Vedas say that everything functions according to the will of Brahma. All the three worlds have to obey his wishes and you cannot overrule the dictates of fate. Your son Angada will be the Gururaja, and seeing him you will forget your sorrow. No woman who has a hero for husband and a hero for son will give in to grief. Abandon this despair. He comforted all of them with his gentle words and he then asked them to perform the last rites for Vali. He spoke again about the power of fate over everyone and everything. He said, No one can circumvent fate. In this world, fate is the only powerful cause for every happening. No man does anything on his own, nor is he free to command anyone to do anything. Fate is the sole power which rules the actions of man. No one can escape the rulings of fate. Fate is neither partial nor has it any personal gain or loss to sustain. Fate makes man suffer or enjoy pleasure, and man is helpless in the hands of fate. Vali has been the plaything of fate, and he has now reached the heavens which he has earned. Rouse up yourself from this despondency and perform the last rites for Vali. Lakshmana spoke to Sugriva to do the needful. He organized the entire proceedings and soon the palanquin, richly decorated, was ready. Vali was placed in it and carried to the fire, which had been prepared with the sandal and other scented woods. They placed Vali on it and Angada touched it with fire. They bathed later in the cool waters of the river which flowed nearby, and after offering tarpana to the departed soul, they returned to the city Kishkindha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Shri Ram. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattuliyam Rama Nama Varanane. Om Shri Ramar Pranamastu.
Chapter 10 of Kishkindha Kanda of Shri Ramayana. The coronation of Sugriva and Angada. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattuliyam Shri Rama Nama Varanane. They all stood around Rama with their palms folded. No one knew what should be done, and they looked to Rama to command them. Hanuman spoke on behalf of all of them and said, "My lord, with your help, Sugriva has now been given the kingdom which had been ruled by his ancestors. Please enter the city and command us to proceed further in the matter. Please guide our king as to how he should manage his affairs. Our king would like to honor you. Please enter the cave which leads to the city Kishkindha." Rama looked at Hanuman and said, "Hanuman, according to the commands of my father, I will not enter a village or a city until the 14 years of exile are completed. Let Sugriva be taken into the city and be crowned." He turned to Sugriva and said, "Go and take up the ruling of kingdom. Crown this young prince as the Yuvaraja. Angada is the very image of his father, and he will bring fame and glory to his father's name." Rama paused for a moment. He then looked around at everyone and at Lakshmana and said, "Sugriva, the month is Shravana, the first month of the rainy season. I will spend some time with Lakshmana in this mountain during the 4 months when rain will fall continuously. I will be happy in the caves of this mountain. Go to the city when the month Kartika comes around. When the rains cease, you will set about your task of fulfilling your promise to me. Go now to Kishkindha and accept the throne." Sugriva went into the city and was crowned as king. At the same time, he crowned Angada as Yuvaraja, and he embraced him with affection. Sugriva then was reunited with his wife, and he spent many happy days as the king of Kishkindha. Shri Ramarpanamastu. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunataya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha.
Chapter 11 of Ramayana's Kishkindha Kanda, Rama and Lakshmana in Prasravana. Apadamahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Sriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. After he had sent Sugriva and others to Kishkindha, Rama went to the hill by name Prasravana. The brothers searched all over and finally located a cave which was very spacious and comfortable. They decided to make it their home for the time being during the rainy season. Rama spent the rainy months in Prasravana with Lakshmana to keep him company. He was very pleased with the location of the cave, which they had chosen as their dwelling place. They were surrounded on all sides by beautiful trees and flowering creepers which were entwined round their trunks. Nature had been lavish in her bounty, and wherever their eyes were cast, they encountered nothing but beauty. Rama was ecstatic in his praise of the spot, and he waited impatiently for the rainy days to come to an end. He spent sleepless nights thinking of Sita, and he had no peace of mind. Lakshmana would try to comfort his brother, who was ever full of sorrow. The days seemed very long, and the incessant rain did not in any way assuage the pain in the sad heart of Rama. Once the moon had risen, and Rama saw the moonlit peak of Prasavana from the mouth of the cave where they were staying. His thoughts flew to Sita and he broke down. Lakshmana was his sole comfort. He said, Rama, my dear brother, you must be brave. You should not be unhappy. You have told me that one who loses his mental equipoise will cause all his actions to go waste. You are powerful and you will win back Sita from the Rakshasa after killing him. Do not give way to despair. You are able to make or break this entire universe. Why then should we worry about this sole enemy? Let the rainy days pass and soon the season Sharad will be here. We will then be able to locate Sita. Ravana will be killed. It is not as though you do not know your strength. Like fire which is covered with ashes needs an ahuti of ghee to make it glow again, I am trying to remind you of your prowess. Rama was touched by the tenderness with which Lakshmana was taking care of him. He said, Child, Lakshmana, you have ever been devoted to me and your love for me is infinite. You speak the right words at the right time. I realize the enervating effect sorrow has on one. I will try and shed it. I will wait for the coming of Sharad. I will wait for Sugriva's aid when the rains cease. It is hard to be patient, but I will wait. Lakshmana said, Rama, Sugriva will do the needful and he will organize the search for Sita. These days will pass and soon we can act. This inaction is making me impatient too, and we will soon see the end of it. The 4 months had come to an end and the skies were regaining their blue. Hanuman saw that the time had come when Sugriva should set about his task, the search for Sita. But he found that Sugriva, after many years of exile, had come back to luxury and in this state of mind had forgotten himself and the duty he owed to Rama. He was busy enjoying himself with wine and women. Hanuman, who knew the nuances of Dharma, who was ever wise, saw that the time had come when the king should be shaken out of his complacency. The skies were clear and there was no longer the sound of thunder or the flash of lightning. Moonlight was chaste and white, and the moon shed its soft radiance on the terraces of the king's palace, and still he had not woken up to the fact that the time had come when he should remember his promise. Sugriva was spending his days and nights in tasting the joys which had been denied to him so long. He had left the affairs of the kingdom in the hands of the ministers and was himself always in the harem. Hanuman went to the presence of Sugriva and spoke to him words full of wisdom. They were words of advice, but spoken very humbly. He said, My lord, this kingdom has been restored to you and also your dear wife. There is still something undone. You should return the favor done to you by your friend. It is not for me to tell you what your duty is, but since you have accepted me as your mentor, I have assumed that you will follow my advice. I need not tell you what you should do now. When a man knows how to act as befits the nobility of his character and keeps his word which was given solemnly to a friend, his fame will be lasting and his kingdom will spread far and wide. He will be honored by everyone. I know your good nature and it is up to you to help Rama, who was responsible for your becoming king. You should now set aside your other interests and devote yourself entirely to the task undertaken by you. No man should prove unfaithful to a friend. My lord, please make all arrangements for the search for Sita. We have promised Rama we will do this. Even though he is impatient to learn about her, Rama is too noble to trouble you and remind you of your duty. Shravana is long past and the 4 months are over. The rains have ceased and the time has come when you should act. Collect the Vanaras to go in search of Sita. It should not seem as though you are indifferent about Rama once you have gained what you desire. You should not wait it to be reminded of your duty by Rama. Rama can easily destroy the 3 worlds. He is very much upset by this delay, I am sure. But he is attached to you and he expects to remain your friend. He is still patient and he is waiting for some kind of communication from you, telling him that you are keeping your promise in mind and that you have not forgotten it. If Rama becomes angry, no one can save you from his anger. Commanded by you, hordes of Vanaras should search for Sita everywhere. After finding out the hiding place where Ravana has imprisoned her, we will be able to say that we have returned the favor done to us by Rama. Please make arrangements for the host of Vanaras to assemble in Kishkindha as early as possible. Sugriva listened to the words spoken by the wise Hanuman. He thought for a while and then he sent for Nila and told him, Nila, see that my entire army, led by the different chiefs assembled in Kishkindha from all over the world, let them all come as fast as they can to our city. They must be here within 15 days from today. If anyone dares to treat this command casually, he will be executed. Ask Angada to represent me and arrange about the collection of the army. After this, Sugriva went back to his harem. Jai Shri Ram. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattvalyam Ramanama Varanane. Om Shri Ramar Pranamast. Chapter 12 of Ramayana's Kishkindha Kanda, Rama's impatience. Apadam Hartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. The rainy season was over. The sky was clear and the moonlit nights were increasing the unhappiness of Rama. He realized that the time stipulated had expired long ago. The sky and the soft air blowing across the Prashravana enhanced his ache for Sita, who was not by his side, and Rama gave way to despair. He fainted and had recovered and was in a depressed state of mind when Lakshmana, who had gone out to collect fruits, came back to the cave. He looked at Rama and his tear-stained face. He was sorry he had left Rama alone with his grief. He said, Rama, my beloved brother, it does not become you to give way to despair like this. I have known a different Rama who could never be affected by the sway of the emotions. Rama, please do not let go of your composure. Do not torture your mind with memories. It is not helping you in any way. Do not let your energy get frittered away by constant dwelling on the tragic happenings. Sugriva will now begin his search for Sita and we can once more be active. Sita would not have come to grief since she is your wife and she is like a flame which will burn anything which dares to touch her. Forget it, forget your sorrow and let us think of the future when, with the help of Sugriva, we will find her and bring her back. Rama was impressed by the words of Lakshmana and he said, Child, without doubt, a task has to be contemplated. Efforts have to be made to accomplish it, and again, thoughts of the result should not interfere with the performance of the task, lest it should distract from its efficacy. I have told you that I would not lose my poise and give way to my grief. But the season and its beauty bring to my mind thoughts of Sita, and I cannot but help ache for her and worry about the possible danger to her. Lakshmana, with rare patience, I have waited for the rains to cease. Sharad Rutu has made its appearance, but evidently Sugriva has forgotten all about his promise to me. I have not seen him, nor have I heard from him. These 4 months have been like 100 years to me. My Sita came to the dreadful Dandaka with me, since she loved me and she could not live without me. I am not able to spend even a moment without thinking of her and her devotion. She must be unhappy too, without me by her side. How long is this torture to last? Sugriva is indifferent. You say that I should not indulge in self pity, but look at me, Lakshmana. I am helpless. I have lost my kingdom, and because of Ravana and his deceit, I have lost my wife. I find that my hands are tied and I seem to have become different, and I am unhappy. Choked with the fumes of lust, the king of the Vanaras has forgotten us completely. I have been made to bear the insult of this Sugriva. He promised to help me find Sita, and now, when his kingdom has been restored to him, he has become indifferent to my grief and his promise to me. Lakshmana, I cannot bear this any longer. I want you to go to Sugriva with this message. The lowliest man in the world is the one who has forgotten the benefits he has derived from a friend, and who, having promised something to that friend, does not keep his word. He is the best of men who keeps his word and pursues the task he has undertaken, irrespective of whether it is easy or difficult. A man who forgets his friend and the good fortune which is his because of his friends is the most contemptible of men. Lakshmana, perhaps he wants to see my bow bent and my arrow aimed at his chest. Ask him if he wishes to hear the twang of my bow, which resembles thunder. Lakshmana, how is it possible for him to have forgotten about me even after he has seen my power and Vela? Remind him of the death of Vali and of the debt he owes me because of that. Ask him if he has forgotten his promises. The rains have ceased and he has not woken up from his dream of pleasure. Drowned in the sea of enjoyment, he does not know that the waking up will be frightful if I decide to string my bow and fight with him. Go, my child, and acquaint Sugriva with my anger. Repeat these words to him. The gateway through which Vali entered the other world has not been closed as yet. It is essential that you should remember to keep your word, else you will have to follow Vali. With a single arrow of mine, Vali was killed. If you disappoint me by forgetting your promise, you and all those who are dear to you will be killed by me. Sugriva, it is not too late. You are still dear to me. Time is passing quickly and I have waited long enough. Make haste. Lakshmana, go to Kishkindha and act as my messenger. Rama, the scion of the rays of the sun, had become angry, and Lakshmana, who was already reputed for his short temper, saw the anger of his brother, and he was furious with Sugriva, who had incensed his brother so much. Lakshmana said, I am sure the king of the Vanaras will never follow the path of good people. He does not realize the truth that he owes all his present happiness to you. He will not enjoy this royal status for long. That is why his mind has turned away from the path of duty and righteousness. Rama, he does not deserve to be king. With his mind bemused, he has lost the power to think, drunk as he is with the pleasures of the body. Let him follow his brother, Vali. My anger has reached the limit. I will kill Sugriva. Let Angada, the son of Vali, search for Sita. Lakshmana took up his bow and strapped the quiver to his shoulder. Rama's anger had abated to an extent. He saw that Lakshmana's anger boded Sugriva no good. He said, Lakshmana, I wish I had not expressed my anger to you. Do not do anything in a hurry. Be generous and give him a chance to justify the delay. Do not make up your mind to kill him until you are convinced that he deserves to die. He and I are friends, and we made a pact in the presence of fire that we would be friends for life, that we would share happiness and sorrow. Talk to him about that and tell him that my affection for him has not decreased at all. Do not repeat what I said in a fit of anger. Remind Sugriva gently about the passage of time and do not speak harshly to him. He may have some reason for the delay. Lakshmana listened to the words of advice which Rama spoke, and after saluting his brother, he went fast towards Kishkindha. Lakshmana was angry. He had to obey his brother, and so he told himself that he would give Sugriva a chance to vindicate himself. If he failed to do so, then he would not wait for Rama to string his bow and honor Sugriva with an arrow from that mighty bow. With these thoughts in mind, Lakshmana walked towards the city where Sugriva ruled. His face had lost its soft and gentle look, and his bows were knit in fury. He loved Rama, and he could not bear to see him so unhappy. He had never seen Rama lose his poise, and these 4 months in Prasravana had been hard for both of them. Lakshmana had spent hours on end trying to comfort Rama and had been asking him to wait till the seasons changed. He was certain that Sugriva would do the needful. But he failed them, and the accumulated anger of these 4 months had worked havoc in the mind of Lakshmana. Holding the bow firmly in his hand, the bow which gleamed like a rainbow with its gold and gems, he walked towards Kishkindha, and his stride was shaking the earth. He passed many trees and peaks, and with his feet he kicked the pebbles that were in his path and walked fast. Jai Shri Ram. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane. Om Shri Ramar Pranamastu.